Hello and welcome to another episode of Talk Right Today. And today, what we're going to talk is especially if you are a new joiner in any organization, and that could be a big, small, or whatever. How does one really gain ground, and how one networks? Because there are occasions when you're new and you're so new that you may not be really well versed with the whole thing. That is what we want to discuss on this episode, and just give pointers maybe. Of course, each organization will have its own way, and the HR will have its own way of buddy or whatever. But from our experiences, from me, Santosh, and Mayur, we have our experiences that we can share, and maybe we can make a better day one going forward in your roles when you join new organizations. Over to you, Mayur.
Great. Thanks, Santosh. Namaskar and a good day to all the viewers and to you as well, Santosh. When you mentioned the day one at the job, your first day at the job, within a fraction of a second, I was transported to my first day. And viewers, remember, this is not the scenario related to your interviews and all. It's the first day.
Yeah.
And I remember, and I just want to share this because it's probably interesting for the viewers as well, hopefully, is when I walked in on the first day, I was so excited. And this is my first job, day one, first job. See, there are two things, right, Santosh? One is you can look at a day one job, could be a 20th job, but it's a day one in that company, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
For me, 1996, it was somewhere June, I think it was June 4th, and it was my first job and my first day. And what I want to say to you is, it was very difficult for me to control my
Excitement.
anxiety and excitement and
Yeah.
nervousness in terms of looking at what's going to happen. And I reached very early, naturally so. There's just one person sitting there who happens to be my very close friend now. And this is 1996. Today is 2020. So imagine, and there were, I would say there were not only butterflies, but moths, bats, eagles flying inside my stomach. Because one thing I feel is on the first day, and this is irrespective of if it's the first job or it's the first day on your nth job, the level of excitement is very high, but the level of nervousness could also be there, somewhere waiting to puncture your excitement as well. So one thing I say, viewers, is it's about how the day before your first day at your work, how you look at it from a long-term, mid-term, long-term perspective can help you, I think, to a good extent in calming your nerves. Why I say this is because anything new can sometimes, make us a little jittery. It's new. We don't know what to expect. Sometimes HR will give you a lot of things. I've got people, Santosh, who told me, "बहुत कुछ बताया, लेकिन when I joined, कुछ नहीं था." ये भी होता है. So, my point is, what is not in our hands is not in our hands. But what is in our hands is to control. So one of the words I always say to people when I talk is control your emotions of anxiety. I call it fans: fear, anxiety, nervousness, and stress. So don't turn the fans on, just
Absolutely.
have the AC on. You know what's an AC, right? Your attitude and your composure. So
Yeah.
have a positive attitude and be composed and be open to what's going to happen. Don't go with expectations.
Yeah.
अरे ये होने वाला है, वो होने वाला है, and then it may sort of puncture your motivation
Yeah.
if you expect too much.
Yeah, absolutely. Nicely put, Mayur. And I can correlate with what I have experienced in my jobs. I would when I would talk about day one, I would actually one step back, and actually say day zero. The reason being, especially if it's a job that it's a second or a third or the fourth job where you are also having, your baggage, if I have to use the right word, of your previous firm, then a lot of times, right, for whatever reason, insurance, continuity, whatever, you you join the next day. Or typically you have a Friday and then a weekend break and a Monday you join the firm. Or there are some lucky ones who take a really awesome 1 odd month break and then join. So depending on that situation, I think it's extremely important, especially when you are joining the immediate next day, that you really first, somewhere you must find time to de-stress from your previous headaches or whatever you had in your life. I
Good
mean,
point.
yes, you must have enjoyed that honeymoon period of your notice period, which is there. But remember, in hindsight, if you look at it, there are certain things in your mind. So you can't carry that baggage. Very important, because it can't impact you. Because I know so many people who join are still in touch on WhatsApp or a phone or an email on the previous thing, अरे ये कहाँ रखा था, ये कौन से drive में है, वो file में कौन सा paper क्या हुआ था, all these things still happen, because it's only when you realize
Yeah,
the whole your importance. The firm realizes your importance only when you leave the firm,
sure.
and next day the cookie crumbles. So yes, you must help, but up to a certain limit. And
Well, yeah.
yeah, you must help. I'm not denying that, because it's not easy for you to hand over everything. But more importantly, do that handover, but don't get bogged down with that, because you now got to move on to the new form. Yeah,
Sure.
that's very important.
Uh, to add value to your point, let me straight away say, viewers, there are 2-3 things just keep in mind on your first day. Like I said, it could be a first job or your nth job, but the first day. Um, One of the things that we should avoid doing once we are in on the first day in the company, right, is try to avoid speaking about your previous job. Um, if at all that situation arises where you are asked a question, where were you before, right? Hota hai, where did you
Obviously, you
come
will be
from?
asked. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You'll
As
be
an
asked,
intro
yeah.
part, yeah.
So yeah, so don't, and be very brutally honest with you. See, in any journey of life, there will be ups and downs, right? There could be a reason why you left that organization, which could be very private to you. Maybe you're not happy, etc. Whatever. Maybe you wanted to jump. You have 100 reasons. Don't have to reveal everything to people who you met for the first time. Please understand that you gain something from your previous job. Be happy about it, but don't go on too much about your previous job as well. Is what I would suggest to the viewers,
Yeah,
Santosh, and maybe later on you can add your point of view. The other is, don't feel the pressure, and I'm saying this from my own experience, viewers. When you go on your first day, don't feel the pressure to suddenly become amazing in your interpersonal skills.
okay.
You know, don't jump around and go introducing yourself. And this is not, I'm not saying it to everybody, but there are some people like me, crazy, like overexcited. I need to control myself and be balanced. See, when it happens, when you go, you want to be a friend to everybody, you want to show that you can mix with everyone, your interpersonal skills are pretty good, but don't make it too much. Don't make the other person feel, yeah, theek hai bhai, I know tu aaya hai, naya hai, but
Hmm.
chill. You're going to be here for some time now, right?
Yeah,
The other thing I would say is, get to know on the first day as much as you can, but in a nice diplomatic way, about the job, about what others are doing. Remember, HR's perspective to orienting you towards the company is one part, but your own proactive effort to getting to know how this company is through conversations,
yeah.
and I'm not saying investigative way, just to understand. I think your own effort will make you more clearer about how this organization is. I think that first day can be a great eye opener for you through
Yeah,
conversations. I hope you
absolutely.
remember, viewers, these 3 things.
Yeah, absolutely. You're spot on, Mayur. In fact, as you rightly put, you got to kind of don't be overexcited, and you got to be calm and composed. Also, the first few days to first few 2 weeks to even months, it's very important you understand the culture of the organization.
Yeah,
You could have come from a different culture for sure, because in your previous. So don't start comparing, because then it's
right.
very important, because don't let the others, your colleagues, your bosses, or whoever they're going to work with, make
Hmm.
a wrong impression about you. So
Hmm.
everyone, it's like, everyone is watching you, everyone is listening to you. So don't brag about something that you were doing something there and you want to implement, and exactly as Mayur said, that I will do this, but just understand the culture, uh, settle down, get into your functional jobs roles quickly, get to know that first,
Yes.
understand the processes, understand the procedures, buddies and all that is over and above that. But all these are
Yeah.
more important, that because that's the your bread and butter going forward. And obviously when you join, the first 2 3 weeks are like a honeymoon again, but don't take that for granted, because the honeymoon you had in your previous job was different, whereas here
Yeah.
it is hardcore head on very soon, and then you will not know when it hit you or hits you. So it's very important, those first 2 3 weeks, very
In
balanced
fact,
approach in life.
Santosh, the fact that you brought in this aspect where you said, look at the day one as a metaphor for a few days ahead
Of course,
and
yeah,
a few
yeah,
weeks.
yeah,
So viewers, please understand this, that when we are calling it the day one, it is not only the day one literally, but it also must be understood as
Yeah.
the few days.
Yeah.
And one thing that you could also remember is, please, even if you get to hear something about the organization, and this is not therefore I'm saying the day one, in the days to come, it'll happen na, ho jayega na, kabhi chai pee rahe hain, break mein, maybe you're part of a team, right? So you might be engaging in conversations. You might therefore also listen to conversations where you may hear things spoken about the company or the people, some things that you cannot control. But one thing I request is, and this has happened to me as well, because when you're with your seniors, kuch baatein hoti hai, अरे ये नहीं हुआ, you may get exposed to something negative. Don't let it affect you, because like I said, in every journey there will be some ups and downs. You may have a senior who's great to you but probably has an issue with another colleague from the same team, but it doesn't mean that you need to get involved in that. That is between them. You
Yeah.
may have respect for everybody, but if you hear something negative, try to please protect yourself from that, because that, in the first initial period of time, positivity is very important. Being progressive is very important. Being proactive is very important. I think that's what I wanted to just assert.
Yeah.
It's not just the day one, the few
Overall.
days
Yeah.
initially overall are very important. I think if you can remember these things, viewers, you'll find that the day, beginning with calmness and not feeling too much of nervousness and all these things that we spoke about, I think can really help you in preparing yourself fantastically for the day one and the few days to
Absolutely.
go ahead with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So simply put, it's the first few weeks to months in an organization, and its impression. You got to create a positive impression, and make sure that everybody starts liking you and not hating you for whatever
True.
unfortunate
True.
reasons that could be.
No,
And
that's true. That's
this
true.
matters a lot because it's not just about at the desk or your seat or the way you address your emails. It's everything, right from the cafeteria to the lobby to everything. It matters. So as I said, everyone is watching you.
Well, I have brought this. Okay, this is something I wanted to show viewers. So if you look at this, what do you see is, of course, it's a nice Levi's sneaker, but imagine, and this is what happened once is, and we were seniors, right? So this guy came in and we just got to know he's joining us, and to my surprise, his shoelaces were untied.
Look at it. Yeah,
And he was,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like you said, the first impression, viewers, is a very, I will not say it's the most lasting impression, but it's a very lasting impression. And the person was wearing whatever that he was, that's okay, but you naturally look at the person, and I noticed his shoelaces both. I'm showing you this. When you wear your appearance, and like Santosh said, it's the first day, you have to be therefore very cautious and very careful and very alert to how you're going to present yourself. So
yeah,
up till now we've been talking about presenting yourselves at an attitudinal level, in terms of how you should be, and interpersonal, and but even at the external level, Santosh, it matters a lot. So on your first day, please decide what attire you should be wearing.
yeah,
Wear a good perfume,
yeah,
because that all not only will help you to feel very good about yourself, it'll create a very positive impression which will last for a very long time,
yeah.
at least for sure. Don't be sure about your shoelaces for sure.
True. In fact, one more and one last point I would like to add on this is that when you join this organization, remember there are colleagues around, right, who have already possibly visited a LinkedIn or your Facebook, and
Yes.
they know a lot more than you do know about yourself. So you got to be careful, cautious there, and also there are certain possibilities that you come over as a boss to someone, for example, or you come over to take over somebody's work and somebody's about to leave. All these situations can come in. So be very, again,
Yeah.
balanced in that. Okay, don't be too hard opinionated.
Yeah.
Understand
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
situation. Again, coming back to the same point, culture. Understand the culture first. So
Very
all
true.
these matter, because otherwise, once opinion is done, or a view is made about you, it's very difficult sometimes unless you really are able to prove it yourself. So these issues really matter.
I think, Santosh, this session has been, to me as well, very refreshing. Please understand the topic is the day one, right? So it brought back a lot of memories. Viewers, I want to say before Santosh shares his final words for this session. Viewers, please understand that Talk Right today, its philosophy is basically sharing. And in the process of sharing with you, we also gain a lot. Okay. Remember, the best shoe also needs to be polished. The best shirt needs to be still ironed. Yeah. The best car needs to be still maintained, you know, and the best human being also needs to be trained and needs to upgrade himself or herself. That's what happens when we do our Talk Right Today session as well, viewers. I do feel and I do hope that through these videos that we share, video sessions that we share, even if you can pick up two or three significant points of practicality, that means which can really help you, I think we will feel very happy. And do write to us, because this is what we're doing from our heart. And we really believe that if you can, you know, if you can help yourself in you know, implementing some of these things, for us it becomes our reward, honestly speaking. And do share these videos also with friends so that they will also benefit. Maybe your family members, just, you know, you have WhatsApp groups, share these links, because जैसे हम आपके साथ शेयर कर रहे हैं viewers, आप अगर शेयर करते हो तो आपको भी अच्छा लगेगा. अभी वो क्या सीखेंगे उस वीडियो से, कुछ ना कुछ तो सीखेंगे, कुछ पॉजिटिव तो उनको लगेगा ना, अंदर से टच होगा, टच. So I hope these videos are touching you. We're going to come up with many more videos as well. And if you do feel you want to engage with us at a corporate level, you want to have us over, I think that's something we would also love to do. And so therefore, you know, just from my heart, I wanted to share these things with you. Right, Santosh, over to
Absolutely.
you.
On that very, very positive, optimistic, and forward-looking note, from me, Santosh, Sirur, and Mayur Kalbag, once again, wishing you all the very best in your endeavors. Do keep in touch through our Talk Right Today by sending us emails on talkrighttoday@gmail.com. And of course, subscribe to our channel. Wishing you all good luck. Bye-bye and take care.
Thank you, and all the best for your day one, for those who are having a day one soon.